Yup.
Yeah. Back at it, guys. So glad you're with us. So glad you're with us.
Take two.
Appreciate your support, guys. We really do.
So this is the other part that shout out to Eric West with the Hawaii real estate. Y'all have seen that we reacted to the other one he did showing the cars. This one he's showing melted cars that were 2 miles away from the Lahaina fire. 2 miles, nowhere near the fire. How do you get cars that are nowhere near proximity of the fire that would have caught fire? How?
I don't know. Good question. See what he's saying.
What we're about to show you is going to change, in my opinion, the whole direction of this entire investigation from what I'm being led to believe, and it just makes logical sense, right?
Yeah, it's almost like there's an incinerator nearby and they just dropped the car off.
Right, so I'm going to turn the camera on what we're walking up on right now. I want you to notice there's a vehicle that's been
Look at that perfectly like burned circle.
here since the beginning. It wasn't dropped off here, obviously.
Look at the chair's not melted.
You can see here there's
it's sitting in the middle.
This is the highest the burn got. Right here. It did not cross the highway. If you look over here, this is the bypass. You can see none of that grass is burned over there. So start to draw some logical conclusions.
Oh, look at
We're going to show you some more things as we're walking along here.
What is that? What's a piece of car?
how did that not disappear? If
this melted, how did that cone not completely disappear?
Wow.
Because if you look at this vehicle, and I want you to notice the burn, the amount of grass, as you can see, that burned and the char marks. This car is basically completely surrounded by gravel, and you can see a small little flames right here when this grass burned. Yet when you turn and look right in this direction,
somebody said in the comment section that they live in Lahaina, and they said it smells like napalm.
That's so
and right
sad.
after everything burned, it smelled like napalm, like something was poured.
besides seeing Dylan, my technical cameraman, you can see this car. And for all you scientists out there that have been sending me images and you're asking me if they're real, I'm here to tell you, in Jesus' name, what we're showing you is real, live on YouTube. So if you enjoy content like this, we ask you to please immediately like this, share this, and subscribe to the channel. Why? Because you are our only hope of getting this out to the world through the YouTube algorithm. This is a tire that is gone. These are the braids of steel inside the tire. Look at this particular rim. Is it safe to say these are aluminum?
look at the windshield. What's that?
Are these aluminum?
Yeah, that's cast aluminum wheels.
Cast aluminum wheel, you can see it melted.
And the windshield on the inside.
Look at the windshield. That is a windshield right there that is completely melted.
Wow.
We have some jumper cables in the back of the vehicle. We have some cast aluminum here.
Wow. Look
That's
how it break up
pulverized.
into, like,
It just
Dust.
How is that possible for a grass fire that did not come from this direction? Because you can see there's nothing that's been burned over here. What could cause that type of destruction when you have a grass fire on this side that obviously didn't connect? But even if it was a grass fire,
And it's still only half burned. I mean,
yeah, you can see there's even some grass over here that's still standing. It's not even been burned. So even down below, directly below this, you can see some wood fence posts that were burned, but you can see all that grass is still good.
not to throw out the big conspiracy, but what if
Not to throw out preference at first that you don't want to throw it out, but you throw it out.
UFO, you know how UFO had them little like the technology UFOs have? Because why is it? Because what if something from the top came out and it was trying to hit stuff and it just went over here and started running across that? I really wish it would have been a camera or something that was showing what was going on in those scenes.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, what makes the UFOs come out? You know, what makes them want to come out and explore and test and look around and do all what they do? So were they drawn to all of the fire? Were they drawn to the smoke? And is that what made them want to come down and now do a little bit of testing on their devices?
Right.
I don't know. That is really creepy.
Right. Because for something to melt, because like I said, right now, if a car caught fire, it's not going to melt it. It's just going to burn up stuff, but it's not going to melt stuff. That's a whole different level of temperature.
Yeah.
So how do you get this car this hot? In the comments section, I need to hear from you guys. Honestly, I need you here in the comments section. There's some smart people, and I'm not talking about, I'm talking about some intelligent people out there that understand physics, science, melting points, not the nonsense people. We need to just silence the nonsense for a moment. We need some real scientists, some real professors around the world to check in right now and help us understand what phenomenon, right?
Yeah, it's an anomaly or whatever you want to call that word.
Right, but this is just one vehicle. This is what we're seeing
Nothing salvage.
in all.
Oh, there's the window down there in the middle.
Where's the window?
Down in the.
Oh, you can see the melted.
Say what back?
How would the UFOs know, out of everything that's going on across the planet? Because they come from a galaxy that's not Earth, so they got to come beyond the Earth. You know what I'm saying? Unless they
different
hovering,
different
just
dimension.
in the clouds, they up and they just, around scoping out the USA. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
That is so weird.
Window down in the crack.
Strange.
It just dripped down in there.
It's just dripped into the. You can see that. I don't know if the camera's picking that up for you. But I've had people reach out to me from around the world asking for these types of images, detailed images. And by the way, thankful that the sheriffs have left. We asked them if I've said, hey, if you guys love your country, allow us to come in here and grab these images. And they've left, and I'm so thankful. And I told the sheriff, said, hey, I'm thankful for you guys because you're sworn to protect the Constitution. You've got more power than anybody in the.
And thank God they left the area.
Thank God they left the area. Yeah, and we're so thankful that they did. They had these stern looks on their faces, man, because we're just like, what law
Let me pull up
prevents
those.
us from having access? Why can the media not have access to this?
alone, though.
Why is there a fence? Why are there checkpoints? This is melted copper.
Yeah,
These are the jumping
so
cables.
what people are familiar with seeing, this is how hot it got. This literally destroyed metal and
Okay, wow.
I mean the spring had no integrity at all. It was just no resistance.
You can see this. What do you think this is? Is this the tranny?
Wow, look at the
Wow.
melted
What is that?
liquid.
The aluminum?
Yeah.
The aluminum melting, turning like a liquid.
I don't know. Did they maybe it had an aluminum gas tank?
But look at all this. Came all the way out here.
Yeah, that's not just heating and melting. That's liquefying, which is
Liquefying. That's a
yeah,
whole other
that's
level.
probably like 1,500 to 2,000 degrees.
Do you think the police force really know what's going on, or that would be the heads of in Hawaii that would know really truly what's thoroughly going on for this, and why this is unexplainable, and why police force have such a problem you being out there looking at it?
I don't know. I mean, do you think they're aware of it?
The local level? No, I think it'll be the people above them.
Right. I was
that
like,
pay grade.
why would they know about that just random and when nothing else is around it and
Yeah.
it just burned up? It could have been like hot temperature with the heat. I don't know, but they.
Mayor, maybe a governor. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
So-
that looks like a cell phone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Ooh, that was a cell
disintegrated.
phone.
What do you guys think? Talk to me. Share the video. Call Joe Rogan. Right?
Yeah.
Somebody call somebody with way more social media clout than I have. And we're not. The Rock. Where's The Rock at? Where's the PGA at?
They just open up a fund. They're asking for money.
Where's the people at? Where are the people that love this country? They're going to help us solve this mystery and are going to allow us to have access to what they're doing over there. There's still a TFR, temporary flight restriction, still in place to this day. We cannot fly a drone over that. We've been in touch with the
See,
FAA
that's what's crazy.
since the
That's
first
another
day. We have
crazy
provided. We have.
Why is it, if it's a safe, I mean, if this was just a natural fire, why are there so many restrictions of, we don't want you to see this, we don't need y'all knowing this, we don't need y'all snooping around this? And I'm sure it's not a gang of people looking around, so they not.
If they're trying to hold an investigation and trying to, investigate to find out for themselves, that could be a reason. But if a drone is at the top,
They telling you, because what do you do? What do they do? What if you
I don't know.
just say buck and you fly it? Is somebody gonna
But
take
it's
it?
like a crime scene. They're not going to let you around while they're trying to solve a crime. People from the outside, they don't want you until they have evidence, until they can put it together. They may want to keep you out while they do their investigation.
I see.
provided a statement of work on company letterhead
But
saying
no. See, but the thing was going on out there. They have too many uncertainties. You still got a whole lot of missing kids, a lot of missing people. Why wasn't this siren going off?
sad.
Why did you tell people not to leave so they could burn?
Oh, so many
It's so
questions.
many unbelievable
many
amount of questions.
questions.
How could a
And
car
then
burn up 2 miles away
Got
from
this
the area?
random situation right
Yeah,
here.
and
Yeah.
it's incinerated. Like Tony Stark just dropped down the laser on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
that we want to get a drone in the sky. Why? Because we want to start watching these hillsides at night for fire. Yes, we might see what they're doing in that town, but we also want to monitor this because we had a fire start up yesterday in Kaanapali.
Really?
Whatever it is that caused this, which we don't know, is still trying to cause havoc on this island as we speak. So this threat's not over. The story's not
I didn't know
finished.
that.
And it's because God Almighty has allowed us to have this type of access to this piece of evidence right now on the side of this highway that's public. And the sheriffs were nice enough to leave us alone. They said we couldn't park here, but why is it that the media is
hook
not given access? Is there third-party independent oversight to what's going on? Why is the deputy sheriff, the chief of police,
God.
still the coroner? There's so many unanswered questions, but I hope that this brings some insight into what limited things we are able to see right now.
Cable right here. There we go.
So
Quite frankly,
what the motor look like.
the local news.
This
is
does not
covering
make
this.
sense. Even if I didn't understand any
That's why I love the level of social media, YouTube, your Rumbles, and all this Twitter, because local media. Think about local media starves. That's why TV is dying. TV is on the way out. And in the back in the day, that's the only source you had. Now, you're not being
nobody watch
spoon fed
TV
a little
no more.
innovation.
Yeah.
You're not being spoon fed a little bit from the TV. Now you're getting it from the people. We
Right.
the people, you know.
thing about temperature or fires, any logical person can look at this and go, hey,
Oh
man,
my Lord! Look at the motor.
how did this grass fire cause this car to completely melt? Look at this look at this motor.
The motor. The alternator
The
made it.
manifold
Where's the manifold?
right here.
I know, where is it?
It's
Incinerated, because the manifolds are like aluminum.
And then look at that push
Or
pop in
aluminium.
there. Completely intact.
What?
Completely intact.
Well, maybe someone came here and had a
Maybe
kid
they'd have to
taking
throw that-
pictures or
I
something.
don't know.
you
It
know.
looks like it endured a fire. I don't know.
That is weird.
Wait.
So
How
this
did
is
that-
just
maybe
pulver.
somebody
It's,
put
it's
that in.
literally,
That's the battery.
oh gosh,
That's lead.
that is lead.
That's crazy.
That is lead. Oh boy, I gotta get that off me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Might not be damaging now. Hey, here's the glass from the lights.
That's glass.
Again, I can't overstate this enough. You guys got to help out right now. We got to get this out to the world.
This is unreal.
Whatever you can do within your power, which is
This-
your little buttons. If your fingers aren't bleeding by the end of tonight from sharing this type of content,
See, that's why we're getting it out and we're reacting to it and playing it, because stuff like that,
Strange.
more people need to see this stuff. This is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Strange.
and people that are bringing you the truth, of course, you can give to our fund that we've created so you can keep this type of reporting going and help the people of Maui. It's MauiLFG.org. You can go to that website if you have a need, if you have a resource, and if you want to give, go to MauiLFG.org. We're out here every day in the field doing what we feel, honestly, God's calling us to do. And here comes the cops.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Well, if they arrest us, it's going to be on.
Get a ride from the.
We can get a ride from them. Oh my
Run
gosh.
for it.
No, it's an ambulance. I think we're okay. Okay.
Run for it.
The
Yeah, this is just beyond unbelievable.
But my question is, babe, I just thought about something you said for investigation. If that's the case, you have all that taped off. You can't go over there. It be stuff around it, so you can't go to it. It's not. It's just wide open, sitting on Hawaii land.
Oh, I thought it was kind of like taped off,
No,
sectioned off.
it's not. It's just there on the side. And they telling people that, oh yeah, you can't come over here and you park over here.
But his drone was over there. That's why it made me think it was like an investigative site, and they didn't want the
No
drone
drone.
trying to catch.
You can't fly drones.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So if he couldn't fly the drone, then that must be an area that they're investigating, so they didn't want you to.
No, he pointed over to the other side of over there where you could see grass and stuff. Mm-hmm. They couldn't fly over there. That was a little bit close to the water.
Oh, I got you.
So, something that's why I didn't really want to say anything while you were talking.
Sure.
But if you look,
Yeah.
how does, and this was in front. So what's in there to get that hot to melt that?
No,
From this little
fires
grass
don't
fire
work
right here,
like
Right?
Yeah.
I mean-
Because you know how hard it is
Like
to
the
burn
police
stuff
don't come
inside
up
without
second.
oxygen and like
So
in an enclosure.
Closed area.
Yeah, so for it to go inside there.
So I'm just gonna put you on the spot. You got any theories?
Wait too long.
I haven't.
Go do your video, cut it short, get what you need and pull out. If they already, if they
think
don't
that- I
want
think-
you
I think
over
Eric-
there
I think
anyway,
Eric was there too long.
you
I
know,
feel like,
get over there and get out. You know, it's in a prohibited area.
but he's thinking in his mind that it's safe, and he already talked to the cops. The cops pulled off. They were like, they let it go. But I would have,
still
I
be
would,
suspicious.
I would have gotten everything I need from
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
haven't seen anything that can do this yet. Not personally.
Really? So even in all the outlandish things that you've heard on the internet, is there like
I've seen stuff in movies that could do this.
right? I have scientists telling me that this is Star Wars.
Yeah, stuff like that.
This is Star Wars level
Like the
stuff.
Death Star, like pointed
Correct.
its gun at us, and
Correct. This is like legitimate scientists. They're
Yeah.
telling me, Eric, tell me if these photos and these images I'm seeing are real, because I don't think they can be, because it breaks science. And
Yeah, it's like
something
the-
that's never been that they don't understand.
yeah, definitely like the Death Star pointed its little gun at this thing.
So
That's
I
why
mean, again, I don't believe in this stuff personally, and I don't
That's
know
why
if you
I-
do. But do you? Could a direct energy weapon do something like this to your knowledge?
I've seen flashlights on TV that burn stuff. That's all I've seen.
Yeah.
But
So who knows?
personally, I don't know. No,
Because every time I hear that, I just check out. I'm going to be
Right.
honest with you.
yeah, until I see it with my own eyes,
Right.
I'm very skeptical.
That's the first thing you told me when we met this morning.
Yeah.
I've never met you before, and
Yeah.
you just reached out to me and said there's some stuff I've seen that you need to see.
Yeah.
But the first thing you said is you don't believe in all that conspiracy garbage. You need to see stuff with your own eyes, and
Right.
then
Right.
you kind of go from there.
Yeah, when you see stuff like this, it
It ain't conspiracy when you're right there on it.
Yeah.
makes your head turn sideways like a dog when he, hears
Yeah,
that funny
like
sound.
this.
Right. By the way, that day that you were in the wind, you said that you heard some sounds that were similar
Yeah.
to a tornado. Tell me a little bit
Yeah,
more about that.
6 months ago, there was a really big tornado in Texas, and I was just over 100 yards away from it.
Ooh, 100 yards.
And that tornado, our RV was like floating, and I opened the door, and I heard this distinctive sound, and it sounded
freight
like
train.
almost like a high-rise building on a spin cycle. Just whoo. It was a scary, eerie sound, because it was like at that time that I heard it, it wasn't a serious wind that I could feel, but it was like it was something that you could just tell it had power behind it. And I heard that same sound the day of the fire when I was directing traffic 3 times.
Yeah.
And it did knock me up against the rail, and I'm 240 pounds, so
Wow.
I was a foot away from the rail, and me and the guy who stand next to
Is he a citizen just directing
It
traffic?
must have been,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
when all the stuff was going down, trying to get order.
dude just got totally slammed against the guardrail.
Yeah.
And it was, you could almost literally see the wind and the debris spinning.
Well, almost like a tornado or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been on scene since the moment this thing started. You have a little motorcycle that I know you love, and you've been driving all over the place. I know you're shocking a lot of these bradas. They know you, these guardsmen. Yeah, hats off to their, thank you for their service
Yeah.
and what they're doing.
Yeah.
What, if you were to list the top 5 things that you see so far that are kind of fishy, that don't make sense to you, besides obviously the bombshell that we just revealed to the world, any other notes or bullet points that you think were just don't make sense, or that just don't add up?
Well, for the people to hear, because I know there's a lot of internet stuff going on, the communities are being fed, they're given water and food in abundance. There's no lack of.
Okay.
And FEMA was never stopping that, because I heard some stuff about, they were putting a halt to that.
Well, they did block supplies coming in at one point, but anyway.
But not where I was, so
Okay,
I didn't see
yeah.
any of that. I never saw any fire trucks.
Did you see anyone spraying a fire at any time? Any water coming out of a fire truck?
No.
That is
And then
crazy.
the police
But I mean, but look
department
at-
would just,
on the
it was
flip
like,
side of that, it was too far gone when
Not for the
if
people
they
that,
could have.
not for the people that, you got certain areas like when you got lined up of cars about to be,
But I mean,
you
I'm
couldn't
just
spray
saying,
the cars, get them wet or
I
something.
don't know. Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I don't know the views and the angles that you couldn't get at, especially
but
where you gonna
they
get
would
the
have
water
had to
from.
get it when it first jumped off.
Yeah, and why
But
would
when the
I,
wind started blowing, that thing started picking up.
That's why I think it was something more than just a fire. There's something super ultra fishy that made it go out of control. Just like how he said I was standing there and something pushed me like it was like I'm 240 pounds. It threw me back. He's like, what was that? A wind that strong that comes from we don't know where.
they were just running around like chickens, just
Yeah.
had no idea what was going on or what to do.
Do you believe, and this is a big question, the police were directing traffic around down power lines?
Yeah. No, they weren't, actually. I was.
You were, okay. So in your opinion, and I know we love our police, man, and I'm not trying to throw anyone
Yeah, I'm
under
not-
the bus, right?
It's just
What is it that the police were doing? Were they just doing how do you explain what they were
Well,
doing? Is there any explanation?
one of them said that they were following the orders of the chief of the fire department. And I was like, okay. So, because I was trying to ask a question about how they justified routing the residents into the neighborhood where the fire was headed. And he goes, well, it's up to the chief of police. And I go,
Chief of the police? Or the
chief of the fire department.
Fire
I'm
department,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
thanks for great.
Island is, that's what I heard.
We
What's
heard
that?
that he was off island. That's what we've heard. We don't know. If
Yeah,
that's
so I
true.
don't even know, but that's what the cop told
That's
me.
what the cop told you. But
Yeah.
That's the rumor we've heard is that
Yeah,
the chief,
so-
the emergency management director was on Oahu. That's confirmed. It didn't fly
Okay.
back until the next day or the day after. Chief
Yeah.
of the fire department, we're told, was gone, and also the governor was off and not in the state.
I did talk to Hawaiian Electric, and one of the guys, he sounded like a very intelligent guy. He said that the power grid for Lahaina was rated at 60 mile per hour, and their protocol, anytime there's a high wind advisory, protocol is to kill power. Anytime they hear a high wind advisory that's closer to the maximum wind velocity that it can withstand.
Yeah.
And he said that was not met, and he told me to my face.
They
So-
never met. They never met.
They
that
never.
amount.
Yeah, he said. Well, it was said that it wasn't turned off, and that because I asked him, I go, well, is the termite infestation at the bottom of all the poles that fell? He goes, no. He goes, that doesn't matter. It's the fact that when the wind blows at such a high rate that it causes. This is what he told me. That it causes the power lines to sway back and forth, and when they touch, that shorts out the transformer, and it blows the transformer, and it blows ambers all over the dry grass. And that's what starts the fire.
Right, because the highest point that we could find on aerial imagery was right below the substation on
Okay.
Lahaina Luna. That's the
Okay.
highest point. So if the wind is blowing straight towards the ocean, east to west, then it would make logical sense that
and
the highest
especially
point.
if it's running parallel with the wind, yeah.
Correct. The highest point was right
Or
below
not
that
parallel, but
substation.
cross.
So the true question is, what was in the wind? If that's what happened, it blew, like we were talking about. It blew up, transformer blew up. That thing started spreading on that dry ground. People saying it smelled like napalm. Then people are saying that. Then he's saying it's the wind force that was ridiculous, and he's at a wind level that's that high level that blows that fire at that specific time. It was like a concoction.
Which is right sort of below the solar field next to Lahaina Luna High
Right.
School. That's the highest point that we could
And
find.
I think we're going up there
We are.
from here, yeah.
So any other things that you saw that day that didn't make any sense? Or since that day? Besides, obviously, if you're just joining the live, we are just pointing out a car that is next to a small grass fire over here. You can tell there's pieces that didn't even burn. So not a big raging fire right here. We're right next to the bypass, right below Laniapoko. You can tell all that grass did not burn. Yeah, we have a car sitting here in plain sight. Incinerated with what all is melted here in your opinion that we've just shown? We got melted glass.
It'd probably be easier to count what's not melted.
Right?
The A-arms and the struts are good. Any thick metal. So, and then for some reason the sheet metal withstands high heat. And yeah, it's just the frame. the frame and then the sheet metal is the only thing that's left.
And what about in the engine? What melted in there? Should we show them again? Just for people that are just joining the live right now.
The intake.
And this is a enclosed area that's harder to heat, right?
Yeah, there's no oxygen in here.
Yeah.
So all the aluminum, anything aluminum, plastic got melted. Any of the copper, the battery, the lead in the battery, the brake master cylinder, all the you see all the copper is actually still there from the electrical harness, but it's pretty much it's beyond what you call
a
wildfire.
Oh yeah, beyond what even this circumstance, because we're completely surrounded by gravel. Take a look at this area. You can see it's this car standing out here in the middle of this highway, which is still, thank goodness, accessible by the sheriff's not allowing us to be here. We couldn't park here. We had to walk down. But you can see that grass is fine. That grass is fine.
So right here.
We go a little bit of grass that's burning right there, and no fuel around this car whatsoever, and nothing coming from that end. How in the world could it create enough fuel to melt this vehicle the way that it has? So now the police or somebody has shown up.
Yeah, we're out of here.
We're out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been there too long.
Too long. They say
we're on our way out, sir.
Guys,
how's it?
okay, we're not allowing no videos or no picture taking, yeah?
Okay.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Yeah, no problem, no
Good looking out.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. We leave right now. We parked over
Yeah,
there. We were
parked-
told we
we're
couldn't
parked
park
off the
down
road.
here.
Yeah, this whole area.
There
Even down there, not no parking.
So no media or nothing, yeah?
No,
You ever seen anything like this before?
not this bad.
Like, just open the hood. You want to see under the seat? It's.
No.
I mean, it's.
So the question we're just
the
asking
engine's
is like,
melted.
how could this car get this hot with grass? A little grass fire. It didn't jump. It didn't jump. That
There's
grass
nothing
is
burned
good.
over there?
There's even a bunch of grass down there that's
Yeah, come
good.
look under the hood.
How could you melt?
If you do know something.
Dude, this is like Star Wars kind of stuff right here.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not interested. They're telling y'all not to record, so you couldn't go engage in the video.
the windshield. The windshield melted over the shifting,
Yeah.
the linkage. I mean, it was
Fire was hot. Upper part.
like, well, 1,220 for aluminum.
Okay, so let's say the fire was around there. And maybe it was so hot that, like he said, the heat from the fire caused that car, only the car, to blow up and explode. I mean, I don't know. It could be so many things because we're not scientists. You know, we don't know about the weather and how the wind will impact motorized. You know, a vehicle with the motor in it and the other chemicals that's in the motor and all
But
of
there
that.
are burn levels of how hot something can before it can destroy this at this level. So, but for things to melt, that don't happen. If a car burn up right outside on the street, it's not gonna melt the glass. That's a different level of burn.
Of heat. I got you.
But in the back, you can see it
But just think
liquefied,
about
so
this
that's
for a second,
about
bro.
1,500.
How could that thing get hot
And
enough
then
from a little bit of
if you-
grass? How could that
you
get
see
so hot
the cast
on a
aluminum
little
on
bit
top,
of grass? It didn't even
that's
burn the
powder.
grass
It's
down
like-
there.
I mean, you could take
In
it
your
actually.
brain,
So we're gonna stop it right there.
But I think they should put signs up to let people know that you can't record. I think that would be more helpful to somebody else who might want to come over there and get information and share with outsiders.
Yeah.
So people are aware and know what's still going on over there.
Versus just saying you can't be over here, and then somebody don't even know where they can't be.
But
Now
somebody is calling. Who's around that's proximal to pay attention to what's
Exactly.
going on
How'd y'all
over
know to
there?
come down there?
Exactly. Unless somebody along who driving by is calling to report it. But
somebody
I think
is an informant.
they
Somebody
should
was an
just
informant.
have little signs along that area on both sides of the street. No recording, no pictures, no videos.
Right, that would make sense.
So that way you know.
Exactly. This whole thing is so suspicious and it's so crazy. But I'm glad that Eric is showing this from Eric West from Hawaii Real Estate. I'm glad he's showing this. You know, anybody out there, please donate to the funds. If you go to, I'll drop a link in the description for his channel. But he has several different funds where they're collecting to help the families. And especially if you got family that was affected, he's giving out funds to help people from the GoFundMe's and things like that. So congrats to him for doing what he's doing out there. But all this is very crazy, and I don't know if this will ever be in detail revealed, or one day something else happens similar, and then now stuff's starting to be unraveled.
Yeah, and maybe the longer he keeps uncovering it, he may unravels and
Something.
find out some things
But that's-
himself.
And that's probably that might be dangerous.
That might be a little scary.
So like, comment, subscribe. Don't take a nosedive, but comment now in the section below if you want some more. We gotta go. Bye.
Yeah.